Welcome back, everyone, to the New World Aeternum beta. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the first dungeon the game kind of gives to you. It's recommended level 25, but you can go in there as early as 23, and that's going to be the Amrine Excavation. In the live version of the game, you are kind of required to go through this dungeon. In the beta version, they have changed some things around to where the dungeons are now optional. They're not part of the story or anything like that. They do have a story that ties in, sure, but you don't have to go through it to actually continue the main story quest line. Now, depending on when you've stopped playing New World, the queuing system or how to get into these dungeons has changed from its original iteration, but as of now, it's the same as live. And I'll have a little display on screen here for you. You can select what type of content you're doing, and then you can click to join a queue, and then you'll get prompted to select your role, tank, DPS, or healer, and it won't let you select that role unless you meet a requirement such as having a weapon or a skill or a gem that gives you a talent or anything like that. It won't let you queue into it, like the tank and healers on screen as an example. If you do also choose to queue in as one of these highly sought after classes or roles like healer or tank, you will get some additional rewards at the end. It's nothing extreme, but it does incentivize players to kind of play those roles, considering that the queues for DPS are a bit longer, so they're trying to use this to kind of alleviate that problem. My only feedback to this type of system, be it live or the beta version of the game, is that it does not tell you how many people your queue is missing or what roles it's missing. It just gives you a timer, which I'll show on screen, and it just counts down or up how long you've been in that queue. Once that 5 players have been found, then it will tell you how many have actually accepted, but it won't tell you what you're waiting on before then. So if you had a friend who plays, like, let's say a healer or tank that logged in, and you're missing a healer or tank, you could have asked them, hey, queue in for this dungeon, and they'll help you out. As of now, there's no way of telling what you're missing or how many people you're missing to get that queue to actually pop. Getting right into it. I'm not going to bore you guys with waiting around in the queue. It took about 30 minutes to get in here as a DPS role, which is about average for most games these days, especially when you need 3 DPS to fill out the group with only 1 tank and 1 healer. It's going to take a while for those types of roles to actually get into one of these dungeons or that kind of content. So if you really want to avoid that, I would recommend bringing a healer or a tank friend, and it should go a lot quicker than that. Coming in, we do get a repeatable quest from that wolf that was sitting out front. And you'll get that every time you actually come into this dungeon. That will give you a little bit of a gold at the end. Nothing too extreme, nothing that really would be abusable by players to kind of exploit more gold or anything like that. I'll let this dungeon just fully play out in this video. It's not that long. It's about 13-ish minutes from start to end. I'll add some commentary on specific things if they do come up, but I'll just let the video play out on its own. Oh, did you see that, man? It was like Neo from the Matrix right there. Something I did want to bring up is this door right here. You do need the Azoth staff to open. There are other points in this dungeon where you will need that staff as well, but the game kind of prevents you from even continuing past this point if you don't have one or somebody in your group doesn't have one. Thankfully, the game does provide a quest line to get you that staff before you can even access this dungeon. I just recall in the live version of the game when I was first playing it, due to how the quest lines were set up and the dungeon was opened, there were incidences where we would go in here and you wouldn't have that staff. Either you as the player didn't do that quest, or no one in your group has done that quest, so you clear out that entire beginning little mine shaft and then that room, and no one can open the door. Then you have to leave and start again. What the hell? Man, that ghost is going like 100 miles an hour. They really need to do something about that, honestly. Hitting one of those and they just rush up to you like that, kind of insane. This is that other point I was talking about with the Azoth staff. You will need it to activate this kind of rock monolith here to go ahead and open this door and proceed with the dungeon as well. But if you had it for the first door, you'll have it for the rest of the dungeon, and that's not a concern anymore. It's only at the beginning where if you don't have it, you're kind of screwed. And coming up will be another point for that staff, that orb figure in the center of the room. Just somebody will need to go up to it and use the staff on it, and it'll go ahead and unlock another door. I have a guest star here in today's video. It'll be Gung Ho Guns right there in the camera. He keeps facing the camera asking me if his character looks good, if his hair is perfectly neat. Like, alright Guns, come on, we need to focus here. I will be doing a collaboration in the future with Guns as well, or a kind of the aim lock controversy that's been happening, so look forward to that as well. Oh, can't get me. Ah, damn, shit. Oh, roll. Hup. 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 Too good for this guy, man. Alright, me and this other dude are kind of split off here. Let's focus on the little fire ghost here. Get that out of the way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Help me. Help me. I was wondering where everybody else went. Looks like they kind of didn't see that we had to unlock those 2 gates at the bottom and went and pulled a 3rd dude. Hopefully this ends well. It's not looking too hot for me. Let me just sit in this little healing circle here for a minute. Man, this guy is sleeping on the job. They really need to get better dudes to guard this place. So this dungeon has 2 bosses. This is the location of the first one you encounter. You'd imagine that we have encountered one already, like, you know, that ghost at the beginning before that first giant door would have been a boss. But no, this is the very first boss you encounter right here. And it's going to be this purple ghost that spawns after you activate this bonfire. Pretty easy fight. You'll randomly select a player and just have like a purple shackled cage like that right there around them, which you can stay in, or you can be like me and try to leave it, then you get stunned for a little bit. And then he'll just spawn these kind of waves of ghosts that just charge forward from where they spawn. That's about it. Pretty easy fight. Goes down pretty quickly. I do remember that being harder, not a lot harder, but harder on the live version of the game. Could have sworn that fight took longer than what we just did right there. Coming up here will be the second and final boss of this entire dungeon. Mechanically, again, just like as that purple ghost before this guy, not much going on. He does spawn some additional monsters around him periodically, but it's nothing too difficult. Again, I do remember this boss in particular being a lot harder in the live version than what this is right now, especially when it came to holding his threat. I remember him kind of being all over the place and just people getting overwhelmed with the amount of ads or additional monsters he would spawn while fighting him. But as you can see, by the time I finish my little speech here, he's already done. And that will be the end of the Amrine Excavation dungeon. Nothing has changed, in my opinion, from live to the beta version of this dungeon, other than how you get into the dungeon and when you can actually go to it, or forced to go to it, I should say. Other than that, it felt honestly exactly the same. Maybe the bosses were a bit easier here in the beta than in live, but that could easily just be me misremembering, or they could have buffed the characters. I could have more gear than I had when I did do it back on the live version. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you do have any kind of feedback for me, suggestions, or video ideas, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you did enjoy. Have a wonderful day.